Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And I was going through medical records today because I'm about to put out some of the dental records because I want to, for once and for all, explain to you guys that what was done to her teeth is not what she says was done. It was not like she ate a cupcake and the teeth were ripped out. It is not that they rubbed Orajel all under here and her teeth were ripped out. That is not what happened. It was a process, and I will be covering that a little later today and putting those out for you guys to see. But I want to talk about these two pages right now that I found. These are letters to the court from Nicholas Godejohn. And I want you to think about everything that's coming out in this the FOIA that we got, okay? And if you want to know what that is, I want you guys to understand exactly what this FOIA is so you guys know what you're looking at. Because apparently a couple of people I was talking with this morning didn't realize what exactly this is. So these pages, this 407-page document that is shocking and very enlightening, actually talks about what happened in Nicholas's 2022 appeal hearing. Now, all of the evidence that is included inside of that has been sealed for years. No one has ever seen it. We have never, as a public, seen any of that information. They did not release it. They did not put out the pool camera from inside the courtroom when he went to his trial or to his appeal hearing. None of that happened. So that is why we have not had all of this information. And with this information, I truly believe even more that while I don't agree with Nicholas in who he is, and I do believe that he has dementedness inside of him, I think he's very dark, allegedly from my opinion, for entertainment and educational purposes only. I believe that he has some of these things that come from his own mental health problems that went unattended by his parents. It's no fault of his. I'm just saying I think he has those things, and he is dangerous, and he would do it again, according to him, if he was manipulated like this before. But I want you to understand that his attorneys were the worst, hands down, period, attorneys I've ever seen in my life. They were either incompetent or they're corrupt. There's no other choice here, okay? So I want you to hear these two letters, though. So on Tuesday, 7/25 of 2017, Nicholas to Judge Jones. I would like to ask the court to accept my letter as a motion to schedule a status hearing. I would like the court to allow me to file a motion to have my public defender removed as counsel. I do not yet have my full discovery after more than a year requesting such. I would request a motion to disclose full discovery. I would request a supervision hearing because of discovery. I have already viewed, but there is more. I have yet to be granted the opportunity to view, and a suppression hearing would be premature at this time. Please schedule a court date to address these issues. Thank you. Respectfully submitted, Nicholas Godejohn. And that's in his handwriting, and he wrote that. And obviously, his attorney didn't have him write this because this is him tasking them to get rid of the attorney. So I wonder who helped him with this, or if he had any help with this. He might have been able to write this himself. Who knows? Okay, so that's the first one. So he's asking and saying basically that his counsel is ineffective and he doesn't want them anymore, and he doesn't think that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which he was 100% correct in. And the judge denied his right to have a different counsel. So corruption number one or mistake number one? You tell me. All right, so here's one from 2/2/18. Supplemental motion to compel discovery for defendant from attorney D. Perry and prosecution. So he's still asking for the discovery again. Forensic evidence, blood splatter report, arrest warrant and supporting evidence, and any and all electronic communications between defendant and co-defendant using phones and computers, and to include text messages and emails and Facebook communications, any video footage from arrest site and crime scene and photos from crime scene, any and all transcripts and video footage of questioning of co-defendant. Defendant seeks copy of response from previous motion for discovery that was not provided, and opposition's responses from attorney and prosecution. Motion to direct order public defender to provide Americans with Disabilities Act that applies to prisoner treatment, confinement, and mental health issues. Respectfully, Nicholas Godejohn. Again, 2018, still asking for his discovery file. Meanwhile, they're going to trial. He also wrote the judge and asked them to remove them. He also wrote the judge and said that he didn't feel that his plea deal was being handled properly. Do you know that he countered and they never told Patterson that he countered? This is how I tell you that I can separate out my emotions from the case itself. Because here, look, do I believe that prison is probably a good place for Nicholas? It gives him structure, a life, privileges, medication, dogs, all that. I do. I honestly do. I do think so. Do I think that he should be there for the rest of his life? No. Do I think that he should honestly be somewhere in a care facility where he can get the proper kind of treatment and understanding of the medications that he needs to use in his lifelong journey with his mental health battles, so that he could come out and live maybe in some sort of assisted living with like a caregiver or whatever, because he'll never be able to live by himself. That's just not in the cards for him. But I mean, this is the thing. I can still think that he is dangerous, that he needs help, that he did this in the way, whatever way that he did this, whether I think he jabbed him or not, is irrelevant to whether or not he received a fair trial, to which I will always say he did not. His rights were violated from the moment that Mahali went in there and began questioning him, knowing that he had a mental defect and that he did not understand what she said about the Miranda rights. And if you want to go watch how she tells him about the Miranda rights, it's pretty fucking shady, folks. I have a lot of problems with what Mahali went in there and did. Now, Hancock, I'm not so certain about. I think that he actually would have investigated this case and done a pretty decent job, and I think that he wanted to, and I think that he's probably disappointed that it went down the way it went. But these are two instances where Nicholas is calling out and trying to ask for help so that he can have a fair trial, and the court denies both times. They do not allow him to get a new attorney. They do not allow him to have a change of venue. They had 3 different jurors on the jury that literally said that they were already convinced that he was guilty. This is a travesty. This should never, ever, ever happen. And it doesn't matter what you think about Nicholas, Gypsy, Dee Dee, or any of it, because I guarantee you, if the shoe were on your foot, or a friend of yours, or a relative of yours, you would feel the same way. Have a good one from the Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time. Bye, guys. Mwah. Drop in the comments and let me know what you think.